So the test campaign that I set up a little earlier on has spent a little bit of budget now. So I just wanted to record a video where I just dive in and just show you how I would follow those rules that I've previously just spoken about. The killer phase this is. And sometimes when you come into the stats, you might not see anything that is a clear loser, and that's absolutely fine. You just need to keep running it a little bit longer. But it's just a case of just having a look and checking it probably around about 3 times a day, I would, or even more. Once you get a campaign up, and if you're not doing anything else, you will keep logging in and checking it out. So you just come here to the your campaign. So if you click on your campaign, it should come up like this, and you should be able to, the first thing you come to will probably be creatives, and then basically, as you can see here, it's been running. It spent $60 so far overall. One thing to note is that one of the images that I uploaded didn't get approved, the one with the tape on the ears, the close-up one. That's because I just realised, I remembered that Rev Content don't allow close-ups of body parts. So that's been wiped out, and it's too late. They've probably gone home now to submit another one. So I'm just going to leave it for now, and I might add another one to it tomorrow. So we've got 3 images to play around with that are currently getting traffic. So what I do is just come and have a look and come to the stats. And basically, the way it's laid out, it's got your creative headlines down here, the images down here. You can turn them all off and on using these little green buttons. And then this is the impressions that each of the adverts have had. And this is the win rate. So if you're getting a very low win rate, that means that it's had a lot of bids, but they've not won many of those bids. So it means you might need to increase your bid. But I'm winning 95% of the traffic. So as I said, this is quite a highish bid for this traffic source, but obviously I just want to get some data coming in, so that's why I went for that bid. And then as you go along here, you've got the visits. So these are the actual clicks onto the adverts, and then it goes to the unique ones, because sometimes people click more than once. And then in this section, it's got clicks. So these are actual clicks on the landing page through to the offer. So that's people that clicked through the landing page. And then it's got unique clicks here, and then we don't need to worry about that for now. That shouldn't be on yours. That's for something I was testing out a while ago. And then we've got conversions down here. So I've obviously not had any conversions as of yet. And sales, ignore that. That won't be on yours, I don't think. Ignore most of these, to be fair. These are if you promote like rebuild products and things like that. And that's fine. So we don't need to worry about any of that. And then here it's got the profit. So obviously we're all minus, like round about $5 has been spent on each ad set so far, each ad so far. And then here it's got cost per view. So this is the amount of money we're paying per click, basically. So that's the bid divided by the click-through rate, which is here, the ICTR, which stands for impression click-through rate. So obviously the higher the ICTR, the lower the cost per click. So this is why you really want to start optimizing your images and finding the images that have got the highest ICTR, because you're going to save money that way. And then click-through rate is the click-through rate on the through the landing page. Don't need to worry about that one. This is conversion rate, and this is conversion rate per view, I think, for the main funnel. This is conversion rate of the offer, so the amount of clicks that arrive to the offer page and convert, it'll give you a conversion rate there, which is good to optimize of later on. Don't need to worry about this for now, but I'm just walking you through these areas just so you can see what it all means if you're new to all of this. And then we've got ROI here, which is obviously all minus 100 because we've only just started the campaign. Earnings per click here, which is the amount of money we would be paid per click on average. So it takes the amount of money we've been paid out for the conversions divided by how many clicks have arrived to the offer page. So that's a good metric, but we can't see that yet. We'll talk about this in more detail when we actually get some conversions coming in, because that's how we optimize the funnel. But this is the eCPM, so this is the cost per 1,000 impressions. So even though I was bidding $1.20, I think it was, or $1.50, I can't remember, I'm actually only paying 92 cents per 1,000 impressions because of the bidding system that they run. And this is the eCPC, which is basically the cost per click going through to the offer. So this is what we're going to be optimizing the funnel on a little bit later on. But for now, we don't need to worry about that. You obviously, if you see anything that seems really crazy high ECPC at this stage, then you might want to get rid of it. But if it's not crazy, if it's like £50 or $50, then I would start thinking that seems a bit high. But for now, they all seem fine for now. So what we're doing here in this initial killing stage is we want to see whether there's any images which just seem to be failing and not working very well. So what I do is I come here and I go to, let's find it, ICTR. I've already set it up here. You click the ICTR at the top and it will arrange all of the information to the highest to the lowest ICTR. So this top image here is getting the highest ICTR. And then it goes down. This one's getting lower, lower, lower. Eventually till you get to the bottom here. And this is getting the lowest. So this hasn't had any visits. It's had the same amount of impressions as the rest of them. But it's got no visits, obviously, and no clicks. And it spent $4.94. So this is where you would be like, well, this compared to the rest of them, they're all getting a few clicks at a time. This one's had 8. I'm talking about visits, like clicks on the advert. This one's had 8, this one's had 5, this one's had 7, this one's had 5, this one's had 6, this one's had 4, this one's had 4, 3, 2. We're starting getting a little bit lower, but then this one at the bottom has just got 0. So then I might be like, I might kill this. The reason I'm apprehensive with killing this is because the top image is the same image with a different headline. So you might want to leave it a bit longer because it's not the image that's got this issue. It could be the headline. But then we see that this headline, simple method, ends tinnitus, it stops ear ringing. It stops ringing ears. See if it's doing second up here. So at this moment in time, there's not that much data that we can go off to say, well, there's a clear loser here because the headline, which is performing the worst, is actually performing the second best, and the image, which is performing the worst, is performing the best. So I'm a bit apprehensive to killing this, but I probably still would just if I was sat here, because I'm like, I've spent $4.94 and I've not had a single visit. Maybe this image with this headline just doesn't, it feels too much like an advert maybe. So you could just turn that off, and then I probably would just leave the rest. Leave it for maybe another $50, $100 and see whether anything starts to change. The only thing is, when you are turning things off like that, there's a chance that could change a little bit later on throughout the day. So it just depends how much budget you want to save by being too conservative and cutting things too soon. But I'll probably just cut that one for now and then just keep checking out the rest. And then obviously the landing pages as well is another element, but we've not had enough traffic to kill any landing pages really, because we want 100 clicks to each landing page before we decide to kill it. And these have only had 9, 5 and 6. But just so you can see, we look at the click-through rate, they're very, very similar. They are very similar landing pages, so there's not a clear loser here anyway. So I'll just keep them running for now. And we go on to widget IDs. So then you can see all of the widget IDs that are running this advert. So then I wouldn't change this to ICTR. What you'd usually do is change it to profit or cost actually. Let's change it to cost. And then you basically want to see if there's any placements which are overspending. Now obviously we need to wait until they've spent at least 1 times the amount of the payout, and the payout is around about $80. So we've got a long way to go here. I wouldn't be optimizing this yet, but I'm just showing you kind of what I would be looking for. If that had spent $90 and it was on 0 and no conversions, then I would get rid of it. Likewise, if this one seems to spend $3 but we've not even had a single visit, I would keep an eye on that a little bit longer and say that spends like more than $10 with no visits, then I'm going to get rid of it. And just to add to that, if one of these spends has 50 visits and no clicks through to the landing page, then it's a red flag. I just get rid of it and turn it off. And that's kind of the process that I would do just at the killing stage. We're just getting rid of the stuff that isn't working at the start of the funnel. So later on in the next section, what we're going to do is start going into like blacklisting and whitelisting, and actually going deeper and how we actually optimize the funnel to find out the actual winning path that we can then double down on and start actually collecting some profit. But we need to wait for some conversions to come through before that. so we just leave it running for a little while now.